Hello, fellas and ladies. It is time to hit the bong one time, finally. After a few delays and 6 years after his history-making Oscar-winning masterpiece Parasite, director Bong Joon-ho is back with an English-language sci-fi comedy, Mickey 17. The movie is set in the near future when a man named Mickey is on a spaceship heading for a new colony, and he works as a expendable, where he dies and then a clone of him is created in order to find out shit that'll help the colony thrive. This has been hotly anticipated by myself and a lot of you motherfuckers, I know that for sure. Actually, wait, hold on, give me 1 second. How could I forget this thing that absolutely fits my head? Like most of you, I've been anticipating the new Bong Joon-ho movie for quite some time. However, unlike most of you fake fans, I've been a fan of Bong Joon-ho for a while. Even before Parasite, I was a huge fan of Snowpiercer, of Memories of Murder, of The Host, of Oksha. I am just a huge Bong Joon-ho fan, and then Parasite, you know, everyone became a fan of his. He is simply a director that doesn't miss, and guess what, boys? We win. The track record remains. Now, here's what I love about this movie. It's pure Bong Joon-ho. It is a nice combo of really his two English language films, Snowpiercer and Oksha. But it's still so what he is. Like, I can tell that he had the creative freedom, and I can definitely see what Warner Brothers was a little pissy about it. I should warn you, if you're going to this movie thinking it's going to be a big sci-fi action thing, or if you're thinking it's going to be exactly like Parasite, you're going to be a little pissed off. This movie is definitely out there, and you will see. This movie is goofier than you think. Because first and foremost, this movie is a comedy. And it's really funny, the use of the camera that Bong Joon-ho implements in these comedic sequences and the humor is really brilliant, honestly. The movie is absolutely unhinged in its depiction of everything. There's no filter in this movie. There's no studio sheen. There's no nothing. It is just insane. The movie implements a lot of insane ideas and sci-fi-ish concepts, and Bong Joon-ho is so committed into fleshing out, and he wants to do it in the most absurd way imaginable. This movie is just simply hilarious. You got your sci-fi thing and all here. You have this little creature planet that they're on, that they're trying to colonize. There's something there, and it's very interesting. This movie isn't an action movie. I should point that out. There's no action in this movie, which I do not say insultingly. Again, I'm just saying that, just be aware. This is basically a sci-fi wag the dog. Because on top of that, this movie is very politically charged. The Red Hatters are definitely going to be pissed off and crying because they're the sensitive ones. Because, my God, this movie has a lot on its mind. That's another aspect that Bong Joon-ho is not holding back on. This movie is very politically charged. And the movie tackles a lot of Trump-era subjects. This movie tackles a lot: environmentalism, corrupt, power-hungry politicians, these kind of politicians who, like Donald Trump, who are just in it for the power, but masqueraded with this whole "I'm for you, the people," and a lot of it is also making fun of people who mask their corruption with Catholic ideologies. There's a sequence in particular between Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette that is particularly hilarious. This movie's very clear about its message about people like Donald Trump or Mark Ruffalo's character in this movie who seek power for the sake of power, how in the end they're just fake. That's all they are as human beings. They're just clawing at the highest high that they can get to for control over people. So much so that Mark Ruffalo's character in this movie adopts a new, colony just so he can have his own power. All those people just are fake. Those people aren't human, which really goes well with the character of Mickey's arc, because this movie also has a lot of heart. They lack self-individuality, and that's something Robert Pattinson is looking for in this movie. And I think that mixing the heart with the politics was a lot more smooth than I really expected. Even as someone who knows what Bong Joon-ho is capable of, it still fucking freaks me out every time. Robert Pattinson does an incredible dual performance here. The two different versions of himself, it's really interesting. One of them straight up has a Batman voice for a lot of it, which makes sense. One's neurotic, one's tough, and which sounds simple. Robert Pattinson's so physical with his comedy and his voice and everything he does. It's so funny to watch. He's so interesting to watch. He grounds this movie. Even at the most absurd moments, this guy grounds this movie up big time. Naomi Ackie was also a huge standout. Loved her performance. Mark Ruffalo is definitely, arguably the standout outside of Robert Pattinson. He's going full Trump mode. Some of his, mannerisms and dialect is Trumpy. This character is just so fucking, eerie. Even that with, phosphorescent white teeth. It's just so odd, this guy, but Mark Ruffalo plays him so well. Toni Collette's also delightfully absurd. Steven Yeun is also great. His storyline is not my favorite, but he is not the issue with that. But the question you might be asking yourself, is this another Bong Joon-ho masterpiece? No, it's not. It's not a masterpiece, even though it comes dangerously close. I do think this movie is brilliant. However, I don't think it flows completely smoothly. I did feel some moments where the tone was just a little off, and the vibe was just a little like... Some of the structure isn't completely stable, however, it mostly is. I do think a lot of audiences are going to be put off by this movie. Just based on the fact that they're not getting exactly what they thought they were getting. And especially by the ending. I have seen some people complain about the ending, and I don't completely disagree. I think the ending starts as something really interesting, and I sat with it, and I do think it ends very, profoundly. However, something they do with Toni Collette's character in the end is a little off-putting, and you'll see, however, the more I swallow it, the more I come to appreciate the ending. Because the ending does kind of hit home what this movie is. Like I said, these people who are corrupt, these Trump-era-esque politicians who are in it for self-preservation, they're not human. Like, they lack humanity. And people like Mickey are left in the dust. Seeing a character like Mickey find his own self-individuality amongst such evil is pretty fucking great, on top of being absolutely hilarious. Bong Joon-ho's scale might have risen, but his knack for unhinged genre frenzy and smart political satire hasn't shifted at all. Robert Pattinson is excellent, the concepts are smart, it's really funny, and it's a scathing film about power-hungry maniacs who hide their corruption and incompetence with faux Christian values. Warts and all, Mickey 17 is an amazing movie, and I'm giving it 9 Mickeys out of 10. I can honestly see, it going up to a 10 on a rewatch. However, I need to... There's still some things I need to scratch. Alright, this is turning my head. Like, subscribe, and share. Shout out now. Bong Joon-ho.